Oh hey, are you ready for some fun in the sun? Well, I know I am. Today, I'm going to address some common questions that you might have about how to protect your young child from the sun and how to pick the right sunscreen. So, when it comes to the infant less than 6 months of age, we actually do not recommend applying sunscreen directly on the body quite yet. So you really have to focus on the physical barriers and sun avoidance. For this child, some things to consider: a wide-brimmed hat. A wide-brimmed hat is considered at least 3 inches of coverage all around. The other thing to do is put the child in long sleeves with a tight weave. All a tight weave means is when you hold it up to the sunlight, not a whole lot of sunlight gets through the clothing. And finally, do not forget about protecting those little eyeballs. The eyes are also susceptible to burning, and they also can get skin cancers as well. Now, for children that are old enough to wear sunscreen over 6 months of age, we do recommend using it regularly. But if your collection looks a lot like mine, it might be a little bit overwhelming to know what is the right type and what should you use. What SPF should I use? Today I'm going to address some of those common questions that I get in my clinic. When it comes to purchasing sunscreen at the store, there's just a few things you can consider. First, read the label. Make sure that it says it has broad spectrum coverage. This will ensure it covers you against those 2 harmful rays that can be damaging to the skin. The other thing to look at is going to be that SPF number. Now, just keep it simple. SPF 30 covers you against 97% of those harmful rays. So really, this is all you need. Anything above 50 is shown to have no clinical benefit. And quite honestly, SPF 15 covers you against 96%. So 15 would be appropriate as well for the majority of the population. The other thing that I want to talk to you about is the types of sunscreens. So you have mineral sunscreen, you have chemical sunscreen, both great products. The difference here is mineral sunscreen, the active ingredient is zinc oxide. It's really good for those that have sensitive skin conditions such as eczema. It just creates a physical barrier to help deflect those rays. The downside about this one is that when you rub them on your child, 10 minutes later, you're still going to be rubbing because you're going to see this white annoying residue. But again, it is a great product. Chemical sunscreens, these are very popular and they work very well. They come in a variety of different types of sunscreen, such as sport and spray. These are great. Downside about these, because the active ingredients are chemicals, they're not great for those that have sensitive skin conditions. But in the end, whatever you have at home, we encourage you to use it because using something is definitely better than using nothing. Lastly, let's talk about application. Now, arguably, this is the most important step, but probably the one that we slack off on the most, if we're all being honest. First of all, make sure that you are applying enough sunscreen. So, you need to apply about a palm's worth for the average child, or about ½ ounce. You need to make sure that you apply it frequently, about every 90 minutes to 2 hours, and apply at least 15 minutes prior to sun exposure. Also, don't be guilty like me and keep expired sunscreen on the shelf. You probably need to replace it at minimum annually, maybe even more frequently, and consider where you keep it stored. If it's in a super hot place like a car, it's probably not going to work very well anymore. Finally, I do recommend avoiding the spray-on type of sunscreens. These just don't tend to work very well at getting a good even coverage of the skin, though they are quite convenient. If that is all you have, I definitely recommend using it. All right, y'all. I'm Dr. Febbraro from Premier Medical Group. Have a good summer.